Welcome to Wine and Real Estate, the podcast where we drink wine, we have fun, and we learn about real estate investing. Real estate investing is so much more than just buying buildings. It's about building relationships, building your dreams, building your dream lifestyle, customizing your life. What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? It's much more than money. It's more than getting rich. It's a different type of wealth. It's the wealth of time, the wealth of freedom. And now let's get to the wine and the real estate. Hello, everyone. So again, you're going to be tired of hearing this. Today is water and real estate. And Melanie's joining me with water as well because it's 3 p.m. where she is. Although I must admit, sometimes I've had wine at 10 a.m., 9 a.m. while picking grapes at a vineyard. And right now I'm drinking water because I'm doing 75 hard. I'm halfway there. So help me out, everybody. I need to continue, push through. I got all my steps in, my workouts. Well, I need to do a little bit more tonight. And it's going to be amazing. So today, the topic is mindset reset. And we have a mindset coach and real estate investor. So can you imagine? This is crazy. So Melanie, welcome to Water and Real Estate, or usually Wine and Real Estate. Tell us more about yourself. Like how are you a mindset coach and what's up with that and real estate investing?
Yeah. So before becoming a real estate investor, we have a family business doing training, coaching, consulting. And my mom is a trainer of NLP, a master trainer of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. So I'm a master practitioner of NLP, and that was my world prior to becoming a real estate investor.
Wow, secret power.
Yeah. And so I left the family business to become a full-time real estate investor, dove into that. And dove in quite deeply. Like we did 9 flips in 2 years and did some new builds and all sorts of different things here in BC. I then kind of reached a point where I actually, to be honest with you, hated it.
Sometimes I hate it too. I'm like, I don't know why I do this stuff, but anyway.
Yeah, it was more from the perspective that I wasn't introduced to all of these amazing communities, these networks. And so it was super lonely. It felt really self-serving. And I felt like I wasn't making a difference on the planet at all. And I feel like I'm here to do good and make the world a little bit of a better place and help people. So I felt super lonely, felt unfulfilled, and was going to leave real estate investing and go and get a real job where I could make a difference.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then, the way things happen, I was introduced to an amazing community where I all of a sudden learned about raising capital and partnerships and all of that kind of collaborative stuff, which fills my heart. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually do real estate and make a difference in other people's lives. Yeah. Wow. So in that community, I ended up being invited to do what was called Mind Power Mondays. And that was me really supporting investors in the mindset piece of it. And that was just a heart thing. It was like such an opportunity for me to make a difference and share what I loved. And so it kind of was birthed that I saw this huge opportunity to support real estate investors with their mindset. And so that's what I do now.
That sounds amazing. And I love what you said there, making a difference. A lot of people think that real estate investing is all about getting rich. And that's why my intro, I mentioned that it's really building those relationships, helping others kind of rise from the ashes. I guess I've met some people, their lives were destroyed, like financial hardship, divorces, deaths, illness, all kinds of things. And then they're faced or joblessness, like they lost a really good job and now they don't know what to do. They don't know who they are. Yeah. So it's so important to have people like yourself helping others like rebuild themselves and see their value beyond the real estate, the jobs, the money, all of that stuff is important. But to get that, you need to see the value in yourself and in others. So I really enjoy that. So now fast forward to 2023. What are you up to? Because it sounds like you're doing a lot.
Yeah. So I have a new focus this year. I kind of see my life in 2-year chunks. The last couple of years, I really focused on investing. with JV partners and raising capital in New Brunswick. So that was we acquired 80 doors in a couple of years, and
Wow.
I was responsible for the raising capital and the finding our JV partners. That's the role in my role in our business. So I did that for a couple of years, hit it hard, loved it, like loved it. And now I'm focusing on really supporting investors with their mindset. So not so much, I mean, I will continue to acquire properties because that's what we do as real estate investors.
A byproduct.
But that's not my focus right now. My focus really in this next couple of years is to do the mindset coaching to really support investors, because I mean, there's so many amazing people in these communities who have these incredible goals. And I love your intro talking about the fact that it's not just wealth as in dollar signs in a bank account. You know, there's your happiness and well-being. It's your relationships with your family. It's friendships that you create in these communities. It's happiness on a day-to-day basis. Like all of that, I'm ridiculously passionate about. And so, you know, none of us are exempt. Wherever we go, there we are. It's like how I show up in real estate investing is probably very similar to how I show up in my home and other places. So life is meant to be enjoyed as far as I'm concerned. And I really want to support people on achieving the success, but enjoying the journey, not just, you know, going to be happy one day when they've achieved. Yeah. So
that's it, when you get 100 doors, or like it's fun getting your first door and all of that, and what it does to your life as well. Like what's the future with this? And so mindset, can you give us some examples of maybe a bad mindset, and then what is a good mindset, and maybe some tips on how to correct that, or how would you work on mindset?
So I mean, when I talk about mindset, really what I'm talking about are those thoughts that are going on in your mind. So what are you saying to yourself about yourself? What are you saying to yourself about others? What are you saying to yourself about what's possible? It's like that little voice that's playing in your mind that nobody can hear, but it's dictating all of the action like all of the action that we take, or the inaction, right? One of the things that if I were to say there's one thing that I really hope to share with people and have people understand, is that whatever we're thinking in here, it causes our brain to release a chemical to our body, and it causes us to feel a certain way.
Yeah.
That feeling, how we're feeling, then dictates how we show up in our world, right? Whether it's at a networking event, whether it's, you know, for a meeting with a partner, whether it's coming home to our beautiful family, how we're feeling, it just shines through in our physiology and our tone of voice and how we show up. And then how we show up dictates the response that we get from the world, i.e. our success, right?
Yeah.
So everything starts here. It's like what I'm saying to myself, what's going on in here, even if you think people don't know and that you're keeping this, you know, dark little secret about that dialogue that's going on, it's not true. People are picking up on that. And so, you know, so working on that, that's what I mean by mindset, is really becoming the master of what you're thinking about, so that you can then become in charge of how you're feeling as you go about your day, therefore how you show up, therefore your results, kind of thing. So a not great mindset, I mean, it could be a million things, but a not great mindset is any of those things that are not going to support you in feeling the way you want to feel, right? Focusing on the negative, focusing on all of the things that are going wrong instead of what is going right. Replaying, you know, things that you may have done or said that you wish you hadn't done or said. Worrying, imagining things out in the future and imagining that they're not going to go well, even though they haven't even happened yet. And so now we're like ruining right now over something that hasn't even happened yet in the future. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know? But we all do it. It's like human nature. It doesn't matter. I'm an expert on mindset. I catch myself doing it. So, you know, it's becoming really aware of what you're thinking, what you're saying to yourself, how that's making you feel, and then becoming in charge of it, starting to really change what you're thinking about so that you can change how you're feeling and therefore your results.
I love to quote someone. I'm Christian, so I love Joyce Meyer. I don't know if you know the Christian world at all, but she says, quit your stinking thinking and then complain and remain. So it's so true. If you complain about something, you remain in
Yeah.
that complaining and complacency. Unfortunately, I do a lot of that. So I need my wife and my mindset coach at some point to
Yeah.
say, stop it
It's
and
like
change it.
torturing ourselves. I mean, it's so interesting because we're torturing ourselves and we don't even realize it.
Yeah.
We will, and we think it's because this happened, that happened, they said this, the market did that, the government, put in this new policy, whatever it is. We think we're justified, but the reality is all that we're doing is robbing ourselves of our own happiness, and then robbing ourselves of being able to create the success we could when we're in a resourceful, positive, happy, vibrant state, right?
Yeah. Totally. I think we
Yeah.
put ourselves, a lot of people put themselves, I myself included, in, I was listening to something. It's something about being not a glorified victim, but kind of vindicated victim. Like, oh,
Mhm.
poor me, the government's
Yeah.
bad. They raised interest rates, so now everything is going down the drain. And
Yeah.
just like you said, like blaming others and not taking
Yeah.
ownership. So that's worth a lot. And as you grow as an investor, you're going to hit those roadblocks. So you need someone like you. So what do you offer, Melanie, to help others grow and get past that? Like, what's
Yeah, I
available?
mean, a few different things, and this is all new for me from the perspective of actually having offerings. So I've been supporting investors for the last 3 years, doing a little bit of coaching here and there, doing the Mind Power Mondays, people coming to me nonstop just because it's my passion. But now I'm actually doing this as a
Formal.
yeah, formally. I've created a Facebook page, where I'm hoping to bring together a community of people who really want to master this part of their business so that they can then go and achieve all the things they want to achieve. I'm offering one-on-one coaching. So in the 3-month coaching program, so I have that starting. Right now we're in the January to March grouping, but I have spots available for April to June. So I'm offering the coaching, offering that Facebook community where we'll come together. We're actually, some of it I'm doing with my mom. So I've brought my mom
Oh,
back
nice.
in, which was really super fun.
He's an expert
Yeah,
in mindset.
she's a real expert and she's amazing. And so so I'm super excited to bring her back in. We're going to do an Ask Us Anything once a month in this Facebook
Oh,
group, so
cool.
people can come with their mindset challenges, and we'll give some different sort of suggestions and ideas. We're doing some workshops once a month. We're going to do workshops to support investors. So those are the main things: the Facebook group, coaching, workshops, Ask Us Anything. And I really am just on a mission to really support investors, because I know that we can learn, we can be amazing at real estate investing, whatever our strategy is, working numbers, doing a burr, doing flips, doing new builds, doing due diligence, rocking a spreadsheet. We can do amazing at that. But if we don't have the right conversation going on inside of ourselves, if we don't believe it's possible for us, if we don't believe we're good enough, smart enough, whatever it might be, it doesn't matter how smart we are and how great we are at analyzing numbers, we are not going to create the same amount of success. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's so true. And I want to share a story about myself doing exactly that, not thinking and not trusting what I was doing. So this summer, and this will be a big share. This summer, I thought, yes, I'm going to coach people on real estate investing. I'm going to launch my program. And I was doing lots of one-on-one, kind of like yourself. I went all out. I got incorporated. I got my advertising going, everything. It just fell flat because I was super negative about it. Every day I'm like, it's not working, I'm not getting people, and then I just gave up. So
Oh,
mindset is everything, and it's rough, and it cost me thousands of dollars. And all summer, I spent all summer on it, and I could have had the summer off, enjoyed it. Instead, I just had the bad mindset. But it's important to recognize it. I think to move forward is that one way, like accepting, okay,
yeah.
it's
So,
over. Now I need to move on.
well, here's the thing. It's kind of one of those things where when we recognize that we did it to ourselves, when we stop blaming the world
Yeah,
around
I was
us,
blaming everybody.
and when we take responsibility, there's a moment of like, oh, that really sucks, right? It's like, I
Oh
don't
yeah,
really want to admit that really sucks. But here's the beautiful piece. If we know that we created it, if I'm the one who created it, I can then change it. So if I think it's because of a whole bunch of things outside of myself, I have no control over those things,
No.
which means I can never fix it. But if I really acknowledge that I created it, well, then that's actually super empowering, great news, because if I
Yeah.
created it, I can change it. So for you, there 1,000% you can get that going. It was not wasted money. It was not wasted
No.
time. Everything that you've put into it, you can make happen starting today by shifting the way you're thinking about it, and you'll get different results, right? So I would
Yeah.
love to support you with that. So we can talk offline about that.
Perfect. But I love using myself as an example more and
Yeah.
more because
Yeah.
I learn. And if you're vulnerable and you put yourself out there, people respect that. I'm in marketing, so I believe in I have a whole team of people working for me in marketing. I believe in leaving bad reviews. A lot of people think you need to take those out. No, leave them and show people how you address those reviews. So it's kind of the same thing for yourself. I made a big mistake. I went in and I had the wrong mindset. I'm like, I'm going to take over the world. And then I'm like, there's too many coaches. There's no place for me. And I just
Oh boy.
negative
Yeah.
talk. And then I
Yeah.
gave up and went back
And
to
of
work.
course you're going to give up, because that's, I mean, when you're saying those things to yourself, your brain's literally flooding your body with chemicals that have you
Yeah, you
feeling
just
awful.
can't see
Like,
anything. And
that's right. And then you're feeling awful. So then you're unmotivated and you're, I'm depressed, but I mean that in a very light,
yeah,
non-clinical way, but you're feeling down, you're feeling unmotivated. Like, why would you ever want to get up and actually take action on that business when you believe that there's nowhere for you in it anyways? Like, it makes perfect sense. I'm all about, I mean, if anybody has seen me anywhere in social media, I'm super transparent. I'm the first person to say, just because I'm I'm a mindset expert and I'm passionate about it and it's sort of my life's purpose, I am in it with everybody else. I
yeah,
have to use all of the things. Just because I know this doesn't mean I live it at every moment and I walk around like all zen. No, I'm a human who has human emotions, who has these experiences.
challenges. And
Yeah. And I share my challenges because I also am super passionate about people knowing they're not alone. So I feel like if everybody pretends that everything's perfect and only
no,
showcases the highlights, then when somebody else is struggling, they think, why me? Why does everybody else, have it all together and I don't? So
yeah,
I'm all about sharing. I mean, I hadn't planned on talking about this today, but another, and a perfect example of how I use mindset on a regular basis is a project that I have going on that has been not easy, let's just say. It's been a,
derailing.
it's been a new build for 5 years, a
So it's an
fourplex.
old build. Five
It
years.
took
Ouch.
me 5 years to build this fourplex. It's finally now complete. And what's
Oh
happened?
man, you need
What's happened in the
champagne.
market, right at the time that I complete a 5-year build, that the costs went through the roof. We found a rock underneath it the size of Texas, like it was underneath the entire property. We had drug dealers in the house. They didn't pay for a year. Then there was COVID and rising costs. I mean, you name it, it happened. But here's the thing. While that happened, I mean, there was a lot of different things that were moments of, I'll be dramatic here and say devastating. Like,
It
I'd
kind
be
of is.
crying on the couch thinking, I'm a total farce. I'm a failure as a real estate investor. Here I am, talking to people about real estate investing, and I've got this project that's a complete and total failure.
5 years.
That's right. And and
Wow.
and then I was building a business in New Brunswick where we acquired the 20 properties, 80 doors, and I was, raising capital and finding partners. Well, mindset was critical in that, because if
Mhm.
I were to focus only on my fourplex, I would
You'd
be
still
laying
be
in
there.
a puddle, crying, doing nothing.
Yeah.
But learning how to focus your attention and how to get your brain thinking differently so that you can then get on that Zoom and deal with that, potential partner or raise capital or all of the other things. It's like you either destroy everything or you master the skills to be able to still build a beautiful life in spite of the challenges that you're facing. And I think that's like something that we all need to learn how to do, because our lives have both good and bad going on at the same time,
Yeah.
right? We're going to have beauty, we're going to have success, we're going to have awesomeness, we're going to have pain, we're going to have struggle, we're going to have challenges. And we literally have a choice on which direction do we focus our attention. When we focus on the challenges, we feel awful. When we
Yeah.
focus on the beauty, we feel good. So it's like, hey, well, why don't we focus on the beauty a little bit more, literally for the purposes of feeling good, so we can create this amazing life for ourselves.
Yeah, because whatever you focus on, I find it grows.
Yeah.
So just like that fourplex taking 5 years, oh my goodness. If you focused on that, like you said, you wouldn't grow, you'd be stalled there. You wouldn't have done New Brunswick. You probably wouldn't be now coaching people on mindset. And
That's
I'm
right.
sure it was challenging. So wow, that's amazing. And a lot of people, a big roadblock I hear all the time is, how do I get started? And I'm sure you have tips for that. People think, okay, I have one house. I can think of a lot of people I've met, and I don't want to pick on people, but a lot of single women or
Yeah.
women that are
Yeah.
divorced, and they're scared. They're like, okay, this is all the money I have. I'm alone, and which that makes it harder. I have my wife Jennifer. She'll whip me into shape if I don't do what I'm supposed to do. But if you're alone, that's
Yeah.
tougher.
Yeah.
And it tends to be more women. They're not, maybe they have a family, so they have to take care of the kids and things. And then they start the negative talk, and then they can't move forward, but they have that crazy potential. Like they have everything. What would you say? Like, what would your advice be? How do you kind of take that first step and plunge? And
Yeah, I mean, that's a really awesome question. So I was a single mom for several years. I know what that feels like.
yeah, it's tough.
You
Well,
know,
I don't know, but it sounds tough.
yeah, it's a lot of responsibility, right? It's a lot of
Yeah,
responsibility. And actually, it's really fun because I have some single moms as JV partners, and like, there's
great.
nothing more satisfying to me than being able to help these women accomplish.
Grow and
Oh, anyways, it's so fulfilling. But what I would say is, honestly, is surround yourself with the right people. So
yeah,
when you're alone in the dark by yourself, and you have all of this dialogue, you don't have anyone to bounce these things off of. You don't have anyone in your world who understands this world of real estate investing. There's going to be people who are going to be fearful for you, and so you buy into that if you're listening and surrounding yourself with that, right?
the
So
market's turning, stop investing, interest rates are going up, places
that's
are not
right.
selling, blah, 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 and then you can't do anything.
That's right. And that's a choice. I mean, all of us face that, and everything in life is a choice. Do we want to hang out with the people who keep us stuck and afraid, or do we want to hang out with the people who are going to lift us up, inspire us, fuel us? I'm a firm believer in, I mean, obviously we need to do our due diligence and be
Yes.
smart about the investments that we do. It's not like, well, just take your last dollars and throw it into real estate
No.
and cross your fingers. No, you need to be very strategic about that. And in a situation like a single mom, where this is all the money that she has, you need to be even more diligent, because the
Yes.
cost of you losing it is higher. Having said all of that, surrounding yourself with like-minded people, surrounding yourself with people who are doing it, surrounding yourself with people with a similar mindset to you. Like, that's why even in the Mindset Reset Facebook group, it's bringing people together who are
Want
folks
to
who
move.
understand the power of their mindset. We're not going to be in there negative Nelly talking about all the bad things that are happening in the world. You're just not going to find that in that community. So surrounding yourself with people, inundating yourself, that's another huge one. And this is for all of us. I inundate myself with listening to things and following things that are going to elicit within me the feeling that I want to have as I live my life. So I'm listening to podcasts like this. I'm listening to audiobooks that will support me. I'm watching YouTube videos that will support me. I want the input, because there's so much negative out there that we
Yeah.
can't control. I want the input to be input that is going to help me live the life that I want to live. Right. So that would be my advice, would be to surround yourself with that and inundate yourself, immerse yourself in a world that is what you want your world to be like.
So stay away from CBC.
I never, you know what? I never watch the news. And
Yeah.
I've had different times in my life where I've thought, especially as a real estate investor, maybe I should, because the downside is you can't have a really intelligent political conversation as an
Yes, you
example.
know nothing.
I know nothing, but you know what? I've learned to be proud of that. The reason I am who I am, the reason that I hope one of my goals is to spread light in the world. I just want to ripple out goodness and light and sparkly energy that makes people feel better. If I'm dark inside because I'm inundating myself with all of that, I can't do what I'm on this earth to do. So so I don't watch the news. And it
Yeah, that's
means I'm
smart.
not as smart as other people, but I'm happier.
You're way happier. Whenever I read the news and start watching and I start obsessing, that's when I really go down that rabbit hole of bad mindset and fearfulness, and everything's scary because everything is blown out of proportion. I'm personally doing a lot of research in more international investing. Right now, I'm investing in 5 countries. I'm looking at more in the future as well.
That's
And I hear
amazing.
these things like Mexico is scary, everybody's dying. But did you know the US is, I think, in the number of countries, it's the most dangerous, like number 55 most dangerous country. It's
Yeah.
actually higher up than Mexico in some respects. And a lot of people are investing in the US. So it's all about perspective, and I'm still not interested in Mexico, but it still changed my mindset or
Yeah.
thinking surrounding Mexico. There are good areas. I think you're in Vancouver, you're in
Yeah.
BC.
Yeah. In
Okay.
Vancouver, just outside of Vancouver. Yeah.
So Vancouver, beautiful city, very scary areas as well, like
Yeah.
Hastings, and I think East Side something is not a good neighborhood. Ottawa,
Yeah.
where I live, national capital, we've had the truckers and all kinds of fun things.
Yeah.
The East End, very bad spot. You don't want to go there at night alone. It could be very dangerous. So just like Mexico, like you have to find that spot that works for you, that mindset. And if you want to invest internationally, you have to do your research and not spend your last dollar, like you said. That's very wise.
Yeah.
And
I
find
mean,
ways to mitigate the risk as well. So
yeah, I think that the important thing is we all in this world of real estate investing, we all have goals. We all have this life that we are wanting to live, right? Out there in the future and now. And I
yeah.
think, we need to stay focused on what it is that we want. My goal, my beautiful life is different than what yours is going to be. We're all different. And so to figure out what is it that I want? What is it that you want? What are you working towards? And then what are the things that you can do that are going to move you specifically closer to your goals? Because the action that you take, the groups, the people that you surround yourself by, the information that you take in is going to be different than that which I need to take in order for me to achieve my goals and live the life that I want to live. So I want to empower people to recognize that we all, like, we are creating our life whether we like it or not. We're either doing it
Yeah.
purposefully or we're doing it, flying by the seat of our pants. But when you do it purposefully, then you can take charge of, take charge of what you're thinking, take charge of your goals, and purposefully make choices internally and externally that are going to allow you to create the life that you want, because we all deserve that. Like, we're all here for a reason, and we're not meant to play it super small. Unless that's what we want, right? And
Yeah.
I don't think that the people who really want to play small, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't think that they're looking at real estate investing to do that. I don't
No.
think that's our people. Whether it's one door or 300 makes no difference. The average person doesn't own more than one property. They don't even own one, right? So
Yeah.
we're doing something pretty amazing, and I think that everybody deserves to feel pretty good about that.
They really do, and it's empowering for, like, if you're a parent like yourself. I have kids too, and it's an example you're setting as well. Like whatever you kind of set your mind into, you can do it. Really, maybe you shouldn't sometimes. That's another one. Maybe you should not do it because whatever you think of may not be good for you, but it could be good as well. So it's good to have maybe lofty goals and have a plan and things, but you're inspiring others and helping others grow, and it's fun. So Melanie, I'm sure you're meeting more and more people now as the years go by and you see the results. Like I'm sure you've
Yeah.
seen people from 5 years ago and now they see you and like, wow, you changed my life just by that one word or sentence.
Yeah.
Sometimes it changes everything. It's like just igniting something. And
I have a lot of people who say I'm like a little birdie on their shoulder. So when they're going through
What would
something, they
Melanie
hear me.
say?
Yeah, 100%. And that's really, I mean, how lucky am I that I have that kind of impact, that people can
Yeah.
use me when I'm not even there to help guide them, through something. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
You need your own app, AI, Melanie Robinson, telling you what to do. So instead of Siri, we pull out our phones. What would
Oh, that would be
Melanie
so
say?
fun for mindset.
Yes.
How should I think about this? How could I reframe this?
Yeah.
When you're talking about, I just wanted to touch briefly on, you're talking about maybe some things we shouldn't do. Like we
Yeah.
can have really big goals and maybe there's some things we shouldn't do. I mean, part of really getting to know ourselves and focusing on mindset is learning how to evaluate, like learning how to elicit our values. What are the things that are important to me, and using that as a decision making tool to be able to decide, is this project, as an example, is this investment the right thing for me?
Yeah.
Even in my personal life, like we're looking at making some changes, maybe liquidating a property or two to free up some cash to private lend to replace an income. Like we're
Yeah.
looking at, doing some things like that. So then my husband says, oh, I found this, this storage property up in the Okanagan. And I'm like, okay. So
Yeah.
based on the fact that we're looking at simplifying our life at the moment and creating passive income, is that property going to move us closer to our goals or not? Like,
Nope.
even though it might be an amazing investment, is it
Yeah.
going to give us what we are working towards right now? So being super clear on what it is that you're working towards right now, and then using that as a guidepost to whether or not this particular deal, as awesome as it is, maybe it's just totally amazing, but if it's not going to move you closer to what you're working towards, then you have to pass it by.
It's so hard, the shiny penny syndrome.
Yeah.
My wife tells me all the time, nope, nope, nope. And
Yeah.
I'm like, since you're saying no, I want it even more. But like you said, it's not helping. I'm also looking at simplifying, making things easier, having more spare time, doing maybe less but better. And yeah, self-storage sounds great, but it's a new business. Let's say you don't
Yeah.
know anything about it. You need to learn it and master it, or hire someone that does, and that's something else. You need to interview people. It's a
It's
whole
active.
layer
That
of
is an
complexity.
active business. That is not a passive business, which maybe in a couple years will be great, but not for what we're looking at right in this particular moment. So, and your wife and I can talk. She could word it differently to you, to say, like I said to my husband. So, based on the fact that we're wanting to do this, do
How
you
does
think
that fit
that
in?
investment, does that give us this? He's like,
Yeah,
no,
but it's
fine.
exciting. And you could, I guess, give it to someone else. Say like, hey, have you seen this hot deal? I know you're looking for that, and this fits. And then you're helping someone, and maybe you'll get a little sliver of what's
Yeah.
going on with the self-storage without getting involved all the way, like
Exactly.
neck
Or you
deep.
bring in partnerships. It's not a closed door, but it's
Yeah,
funny how my brain naturally goes to that and goes, okay, so because to me, when we're working towards something, I'm like this. I'm laser focused. When I was
yeah,
working on New Brunswick, I was laser focused. You could have dangled anything in front of me, and if
didn't
it
care.
wasn't, I didn't care. I was focused. Right now, I'm focused on the mindset coaching business. That's what I want to do in this next 2 years. And so
You're gonna
again,
drive it hard, and
it's going to be very hard to steer me off track because I eat, sleep, and breathe what it is that I want at this moment in time.
I love it. Words of wisdom. Thank you so much, Melanie, for taking a bit of time to share about your passion. And where can our listeners find you? Like, what's the best way to get a hold of you, or follow you, or join your coaching?
Yeah, so the Mindset Reset with Melanie, it's a Facebook group. If you look that up, Mindset Reset with Melanie, you'll find that. That's a great community to sort of see what I'm up to in the world of mindset and supporting real estate investors. I am learning to use Instagram, Melanie _Robinson on Instagram. And then just regular Melanie Robinson on Facebook too. Oh, and I am building a website right now, melanierobinson.ca. So
Ooh,
I'm
very
a
exciting.
work in progress.
It's always evolving. Like I said earlier, I'm in marketing, and it's constant. I saw there's a new social media, I forget the name. I'm like, oh my goodness, another one. We have to learn if it survives. Just
Yeah.
like TikTok, at first I'm like, this is not gonna last. it's here to stay. You have to check
Yeah,
it out. It's part of
yeah,
our lives. So
yeah. I haven't done that yet. I'm proud of myself for getting on Instagram. I'll do that for now.
yeah, and it's good to master things, just like you were saying earlier. Like find your lane, your niche, and don't go crazy. Like I said, I'm in marketing, so I wanted to see them all because that's kind of a passion of mine.
Yeah.
But if it's not for you, just like that self storage, maybe it doesn't add to you and what you want to do, and then forget it. You don't need it.
Doesn't mean
So
doesn't mean it's not amazing. It just means it's not going to move me closer to my
that's
goals.
it.
Right? Yeah,
And maybe it's not now, maybe in the future. So
that's right. Yeah.
wow, very enlightening conversation. I'm glad I had water so I could focus and soak it all in. So I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. Make sure to give us a review, rate us, share this episode with someone. It would help. And make sure to check out Melanie. I love her content, what she's been doing, following for years. And really, we finally get to connect on wine and or water in real estate. So
One
anyway,
time
until
we'll have to do it again and have some wine together.
yeah, especially BC, you have some amazing wine. And yeah, so March
Yeah.
18th is when I can drink again, but I will be in Costa Rica by then. So I guess I'll have to find some wine there.
There you go.
Thank you so much and all the best. We'll have to catch up in the future.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me on and allowing me to share my passion.
My pleasure. I love helping others and sharing their passion. I think it's really important and it shows, it radiates, like you said.
Wow.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
We'll have properties that are just being launched, exclusive pricing, perks, and insider scoops. Learn before everyone else what is being built, and get the best price and service.
Meet with other like-minded investors, and work with our hand-picked team of experts. Learn from the best in the industry with worldwide investing experience.
Find out more about private loans. Learn about the latest in marketing to expand your business. Meet one-on-one with some of the best builders in the area. Meet an amazing real estate team, legal teams, accounting, and much more.
Hey there, listeners. We hope you enjoyed this latest episode of the Wine and Real Estate Podcast.
Yes, absolutely. You can find us on Instagram. Our handle is wine_and_real estate. So wine and real estate. On Facebook, FL Homes Corp. And you can also find us on our YouTube channel.
Yes, and please make sure to give us a rating, 5 stars, or any comments. We'd love to hear from you. And we love suggestions as well. Cheers.
Yeah, chin chin.